So today we really have a treat because we're going to have a drink with Zarine. And Zarine is one of my favorite sound healers that I've ever experienced. And I would like, I would like to introduce her modality, how she does it, where it comes from, and understand more her journey.
Thank you for suggesting this. My pleasure to be here, darling. And I love that you have been coming for so many years to the sessions and you still come. And my journey actually began as a school teacher in Dubai.
Wow.
And then I attended a couple of sessions, and the ladies there were learning how to play the gongs. So they asked me to come and watch, and I sat there and fell in love. So one of the ladies became my first teachers. And then I trained in England, and the rest, as they say, is history. I resigned my school job and took to it full time.
Okay. That's
So
a brave step.
it
yeah.
was actually.
I'm so glad you did that because you are so talented. So in my experience, I've been going to Zarine for forever. How many years has it been? Like maybe 10
Almost
years
10 years, yes.
that I know you. And I remember like 10 years ago, I was in a very bad shape, and I was out of a job and very depressed. And I landed at Zarine's doorstep, and she suggested I do a meditation with her. And that was probably one of the best things that I ever experienced because it uplifted me so much. And I couldn't understand, like, how is that possible? And she did some sort of meditation of manifestation, and literally within like 2 weeks, I got a job. So and the job that I got was exactly like in the meditation we were doing, imagine yourself in the job of your dreams. And I was imagining myself in whatever job that I had envisioned. And all of a sudden, when I get my job, the same telephone, the same desk, the same, scenario. I was just, I was so excited. I called Zarine to tell her that, like, how is this possible? Like, what did you do? Is it magic? Is it what? And that slowly led me to get into sound healing more.
Yes, that was manifestation with quantum jumping.
Okay, that was just...
It's one of the most favorite topics. I have different topics for different meditations, and each one is special. And this one is the most favorite of almost everybody who has attended it.
Yeah.
And it has brought amazing results. People have started writing their books. People have been scared of water, and they've started learning swimming. And one older gentleman just wrote back to say that he was retiring and he was learning the piano, and he visualized himself playing beautifully, reading the music in Carnegie Hall, people clapping. And the next week or two, his teacher was amazed that he was playing with both his hands.
Amazing.
So yes, and sound takes it to the next level, darling. Whatever guided visualizations we do, sound, especially the sound of the gongs, will actually take everything to the next level. So if it's your manifestation, that is kind of increased, I would say 100-fold. If it's releasing anger or fear, if it's putting in your affirmations, if it's your intentions, all that, the sound just goes in and does what it needs to do for each one.
Wow.
Whether it's mental, physical, emotional, and even at some points spiritual. Although we always say that there is no religious connotation to the session.
So how did Gonging start? Like,
yes, so legend has it that thousands of years ago, in the area which is today China, South Asia, Afghanistan, Tibet, they started making bread. And yes, Chinese do eat bread. Where they had these huge ovens underground, and they would bake bread for the whole village. And then once the metals in the rocks would melt, and once they cooled, the children would just pick up these irregular circular shapes and hold them up and, hit them with sticks and other things. And that is how the first gong actually began. But this is legend, so we have no way of proving it. But then gradually people started using it as an instrument to send messages from village to village. And in the days of Buddha, they would use the sound in ceremonial purposes, for ceremonial purposes. So this is how it started. And we sometimes have these characters on the gongs, which are meant to explain that we call them Tai Loi, and it means happiness has arrived. So it's a beautiful feeling. So when you listen to the gongs, the body begins to balance. Basically, it's all about balance, darling. Not just physical, but mental, emotional, and as I said, spiritual as well. So we now know that our bodies have this aura around it, which is an electromagnetic field. In fact, they call it a magnetoelectric field now. And it's made up of many layers. And as the sounds wash towards you, they cleanse, clear, heal all these different layers. And then once it gets into the body through every pore of your skin, the sound goes and aligns whatever is misaligned, whatever is out of balance, and the body falls into this beautiful space of balance.
Amazing.
And that's where the healing happens. They also take you through different brainwave states.
Okay.
So you move from alpha, beta, theta, gamma, delta, and back, depending on. Sometimes you feel you're fast asleep, people are snoring, which is beautiful, which we encourage. And sometimes you feel like you're in a deep meditative state. Sometimes you're very awake and alert. So as the mind goes through all these different states, the body receives intense rest. So when people wear their Fitbit, they sometimes wake up and say to me, Zarine, I was aware of every word you said and every sound you made, but look, this is my sleep pattern for the 1.25 hours or whatever time we took, complete rectangle. Whereas the night before, what we call perfect sleep is you see? So the brain tries to keep up, the mind tries to keep up, but because, so let me explain here the difference between sound and music.
Okay.
Music has a pattern, a sequence, a rhythm, a tune, and so the mind keeps held. It expects the next sequence, the next pattern, the next rhythm, the next tune, and if it's a song, the words. But in sound, we do not have patterns, sequences, rhythms, or tunes. So the mind tries to keep up, but it can't, and it moves away. And this is where the body gets intense rest and healing.
It's like hypnosis, the message unit. So in hypnosis as well, when you overload the brain with too many message units, then it just goes into relaxation.
Beautiful.
And that's hypnosis.
Yeah.
So wow, that makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
My mother, she had her hands were shaking. She had a cerebral. She started having nervous problems, and I did like a sound healing club with the singing bowls. And it just got after 2-3 sessions, it was just amazing how it works. So it really does have people can't imagine that without a blood test, without any, intervention, somebody can just heal.
Yes. But if you do a urine or a blood test before and after, you would see the difference.
Yeah.
After the sound session, people have done it. It's not very well scientifically recorded yet, so we don't actually show it around, but it's amazing how people wake up and tell me different things through different sessions. We had a lady once who was not at all to do the session, and she came only because it was a private session and her friend was full-time pregnant and she had invited her. And so she lay by the door. I said, darling, if you're uncomfortable, you can leave at any time. And then when she woke up, she said, I felt like screaming and leaving in between because I was in so much pain. But I thought to myself, I must wait. And as soon as you stopped gonging, the pain went away. And she said that she felt as though the bones in her ankle were being twisted. And then she remembered that as a child, she had fallen and broken that ankle, and she had pain in that ankle every winter. So the sound actually went in and reset those bones, which is such a crazy, amazing thing. It's never happened again, but yes, it did happen.
Right. So you know what? When I had the singing bowls, I bought them from Nepal after I did the course, and the guy also explained that there's this the law of entrainment, law of entrainment.
Yes.
So this guy called Christian Huygens, he's a Dutch scientist. He's the one who invented the grandfather clock.
Okay.
So he made like a grandfather, and he discovered that actually if you put two grandfather clocks together,
Yes.
they will
Synchronize. Yes.
They will synchronize. So the bowls, the singing bowls, are actually made of a perfect frequency of a chakra.
Correct.
So each chakra bowl, and so when you hit it, that frequency entrains or syncs with your chakra to lift it up to a perfect chakra. And that's how, all the blocks get removed.
And the beauty of the gongs is that they have a complete bouquet of all the frequencies in creation, especially the symphonic gongs. So when we do groups, we try to use symphonics.
So within one gong, you have all the chakras?
Yes.
Depending on where you hit?
Yes, and some people will also say that the gong has chakras, in the center. So, yeah, if you're doing like a third eye opening thing, then you will play at that particular point of the gong. Some people agree with it, some people don't, but it's such a new modality, that everybody has their own opinions and we respect them all. So each person will create different sessions and different sounds, and usually people coming will say it's always different.
Okay.
So you receive what you need for that particular day when you come.
Sound is definitely so powerful, right? Because it's something that you take out of your body, and you like speaking, even the world was created, like even in the Quran, the first surah that was revealed was called Surah Ikra, which means read or speak, and that means like the world was created through sound, and so from that sound everything came. And like if we think of energy, like thoughts are energy, and then emotions are like maybe that magnetic field that energy is created, and then when you speak, it's like coming out into the etheric.
So they say that everything started with sound, and sound waves compacted and became light, and light waves compacted and became shape. So sound, light, and shape are the three fundamental blocks of everything in creation, basically. So if you are dealing with the very first foundation block, then everything else falls into place. Because the body is nothing but shape and light and, energy. Yeah, so frequency and vibration is something that all of creation is made of.
Wow.
And once we get that, medical science is actually now looking at sound as the ultimate healing frontier. So it's beautiful when I've done sessions for a pharmaceutical company as well, and that was, I think, the highlight.
Yeah, that's a milestone.
And I'm like, okay, let's do this. They actually opened a wellness center after that. Yes. Let your breath move back to its natural rhythm.
So Zarine, what other things can you do with sound? Like, is it only gonging, or do other things?
So I do one-on-one sessions as well for couples, for families, but one-on-one sessions for the healing, I've studied many different modalities, but sound is always present in the session in different ways. So for example, we would put the bowls on the body, we would make people sit behind the gongs and talk out loud to release traumas. There's lots you can do with sound even on a one-on-one basis. So that session is almost completely different, although we do end with a 10 or 20-minute gonging, which is very necessary. So 10 minutes of gonging is also very effective. You can do 10, 20, and 40 because those are the sleep cycle timings.
Right.
And besides one-on-one healing sessions, along with the different modalities that I have studied and sound, we can also do space clearings.
Yes.
So although I'm not Vastu or Feng Shui trained, I use sound mainly to do a lot of my space clearings, as I did for you when I came to yours.
That was actually amazing because I really felt the difference after you did it. So the feeling in the house really did change. So I did love it.
Yes. And each instrument will have a different effect and will clear various things. So the shell when you blow the conch shell, it really, really clears the space immediately. So during a space clearing, we would blow it in every corner of every room in the house, and at the entrance, and if you have a back door or some such thing. So the shell is very potent. And then I've also studied other modalities with the pendulum and spiritual response therapy charts, and there's also something called the solution, which I did with an Indian doctor for almost a year. We studied with him, and that also has a space clearing component to it. So all these things together work really well because they affect different aspects of the space. And then before you finish, you actually put in, I would call them spiral shapes within each room that holds the clearing.
With the sound?
No, with a stylo and the pendulum and with different things. And then there's always a gong component to it as well. So the chimes are the lighter sounds in the end, which really bring in the lightness when you use the chimes. The rain stick again to clear space, ocean drumming, a bit of drumming as well. So we find the heart of the home or the heart of I've even done schools, Montessori schools and nurseries, and you find the heart of the place and you set up there and then you do the clearing.
So Zarine, tell me more about like where do you see the future of gonging? Like how do you see, like, because it's already like I remember 10 years ago it was just you and maybe somebody else.
We were very few at that time when we started, but gradually it is picking up to the extent that I'm sure we have more than 100 gong players in Dubai, and definitely 100 gongs, and somebody's gonging everywhere, somewhere every day. And that's beautiful for the city because it raises the vibrations. And the more people do it, the more beautiful the space becomes, because every space that you gong in will actually change in frequency and vibration, just as the people who come in also raise their vibrations. And all over the world, people are raising vibrations now, becoming more aware, more open, looking at different healing modalities, studying different healing modalities. As you know, we've done so many together.
Yes, it's true.
And even the instruments, every instrument will affect different parts of the body. So as you said, when you use different singing bowls, they affect different parts of the body. In the same way, if you're using a rain stick, it puts people very much into rest and relaxation. You use the ocean drum, that also calms people down. And the sounds of the gongs, as I said, always takes everything to the next level. So we usually don't use anything as we are playing the gongs. Sometimes maybe the ocean drum and a bit of the flumies, but otherwise the gong sound has to be very, very pure.
Can you tell that a little bit about like what other instruments you use? So okay.
Yes, I mentioned the rain stick and the ocean drum. So besides all the singing bowls, I have what they call a sansula, and I can demonstrate that as well later on. We also use a xylophone, but it's a specific one that's made for sound healing.
Oh wow.
So yes, so there's a xylophone, and then we use bells sometimes. We would also use then like a tongue drum or a hang drum. And finally, I usually chant with the Shruti box, which is like a drone sound, but it takes the voice when you're chanting. Again, I will use the words to the next level. Yeah.
So you know what I love is that that sound never dies. It just stays alive forever. So if I speak something or I make a sound, the waves will just keep going into infinity in the universe. And you know, everything that's ever been spoken or said or you know
Is existing somewhere.
Is existing somewhere
True.
in time and space. So,
True, true.
yeah. So now with all this AI and technology and all these new equipments and instruments, What do you think about AI and sound?
So I do feel, and I was listening to this gentleman's podcast, and he was explaining how in the age of AI, if people are becoming more and more aloof and lonely and introverted and staying within their spaces, it will be more and more important for people to have gatherings and group sessions and healings, coming together, experiencing community, togetherness, oneness, feeling the one-on-one connection of humans, of human bodies, basically, instead of just being totally isolated with AI. So I have a feeling that more and more people will be looking for sessions like what we offer, and looking forward to attending these sessions more and more. Because online it doesn't work, darling, you know, the sound just doesn't feel the same because you're not present to feel the vibration. So I have a feeling that there is a lot that is still to happen.
So, Zarine, if anybody wants to get in contact with you, how can they?
I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook. They can just message, or they can take my number from somebody else. It's fine. Thank you.
Okay.
So we use the water bowl to explain how sound works with the body. Our bodies have 76% liquids in them. Science also tells us that we are made of atoms, and atoms have electrons in them. With the next deep breath in, gently allow your arms for your body. And this makes you smile. Keep it. Thank you for being here, guys. Bless you all. Bless your homes. Bless your families.
That was absolutely lovely. Thank you so much, Zarine.
Welcome, darling. Anytime.
You know, I was really mesmerized by the sounds. They sound so ancient, and, you know, every sound was so unique.
Yes. We say that the symphonic gongs, which these two are, have a bouquet of all the frequencies in creation. And so they are ideal for group sessions. But gongs are also made with the different frequencies of the planets, as recorded by NASA, and they're hammered into the gongs. So you will have a Mercury gong, a Venus gong, a Mars gong, a Neptune gong, and each sound will be different. And now we have so many people creating gongs, each one more beautiful than the rest.
So the sounds of the gongs, they are the same sound as the planets?
Not these particular ones. These have like a complete bouquet of all the sounds in creation, but the individual gongs that they create, yes, have the sounds of the planets. You can actually hear the NASA recording and then listen to the gong. I will send you that video if you would like to.
I would love to. Thank you. Thank you so much again. And yeah, I look forward to the next gong session with you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for joining, and I hope you enjoyed the sound healing. I'm making these videos because my intention is to create a forum or platform where we can look into different types of healing modalities that are out there and create a community, and hopefully this information will be useful to some people. If you find it useful or you think someone would benefit from it, please do share. And yes, thank you for joining, and I hope to see you in the next session.